Part 1. The night before. Last night, Alan mumbled something about me being a skipper for a day as punishment. My tired brain didn't really follow. I can only assume he meant skipper for a day as a reward for all my hard work as a mate, quanting, looking after the crew, and doing all the heavy lifting for days. Then I found out this morning that he meant skippering on his boat, and now I understand.
Part 1, the night before. Last night, Alan didn't tell me anything because I'm his mate. In other words, the normal state of affairs. I went to bed as usual, and then this morning, in skipper's meeting, I got thoroughly confused when Alan didn't present me with the rotor as normal. He didn't even have it. The pen and paper, however, was handed to Kirsten, much to our amusement. About halfway through the meeting, we finally realised what was going on.
Part 2. The pep talk. Later that morning, over the washing up, Alan gave me a pep talk. You'll be fine, you'll be fine. At first I wasn't really sure what he was talking about, the washing up. Look, don't hang around this morning, Kirsten, just get going. Don't try to teach them anything. I never do. Just get on your way. Oh, and don't let the crew do anything.
Part 2, the pep talk. Later that morning, after the washing up, Alan gave me the pep talk. Make sure the crew do some sailing, make sure you do the jib outhaul, you do the jib halyard and sweat it, make sure the mast bends when you do that, make sure you do the throat and sweat it, make sure you do the bow line, make sure you do the stern line, make sure you do the bowsprit, make sure you do this, that and the other. You'll be fine, and if necessary, take over as skipper. Remember, a quick honk on the head with the boom will render Kirsten useful.
Part 3, the off. On arrival at Potter, my finely honed skipper's nose immediately detected a problem. No crotches. Where were they? On interrogation of the mate, I discovered that she'd not put the crutches in the night before. Okay, I thought, that's fine. But where were they? On interrogation of Alan, ex-skipper, I discovered that he had put the crutches in the night before. So where are they? I inquired. I know exactly where they are, said Alan confidently, then ruefully pointing to the gap between the boat and the bank and making this motion with his hand. Part 3, the off. On arrival at Potter, my finely honed skipper's nose immediately detected a problem. No crutches! After being interrogated, in my defence, I dropped my skipper right in it, much as he had dropped the crutches in, and they floated away. In my defence, I stated that I had taken the crew to the shop after my skipper insisted that he would tidy up the boat. Looking at the boat this morning, I decided his two mistakes, leaving the topping lift tight and leaving the squash behind, meant that he really did need his mate. Part 4. At lunch, pep talk part 2. I fielded questions from Alan on a variety of topics, some of them about sailing. No, in fact, he was interested to know how the crew had performed, but I eventually discovered that by this he didn't mean how they'd sailed, but what their times were for a lap of the boat. I complained about the crew's general lack of knowledge. I miss my crew. Alan, haven't you taught your crew anything other than how to run around a boat like a bunch of monkeys? Alan chuckled and whispered conspiratorially, "They are good fun, though, aren't they?" I concurred.
Part 4, pep talk, part 2. Alan approached me and asked how my skipper was doing, to which I replied fine, after I knocked her on the head. But she was getting frustrated as to how my crew don't know which halyard is which. However, she did enjoy their excitement about running around the boat. They are, after all, just copying their skipper.